All right, welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name is Tank Kramer. I'm with Alfredo from the Panda and Grizzly Show, and we are doing another one of the Oscars for the 2022 year. We're doing West Side Story, the 2021 remake from Steven Spielberg, that is up for Best Picture this year. So yeah, man, we'll just get right into it because we've already reviewed this, me and Will, as part of our Monday new box office kind of stuff.
Okay.
So I'll put the link in the description for that. So kind of get your take on everything. What were some of the things you liked and disliked?
Geez. How about let's start with the dislikes?
Go for it.
Everything. So I'm not a musical guy. Okay. So I'm not a fan guy. Like if you tell me to watch Chicago,
Mm.
um you asked me to watch this movie, The West Side Story. I've heard of West Side Story. I heard it was a big, awesome, whatever. I never seen it. I know about the Jets and the Sharks.
Sharks. Yeah.
Right. So, okay, but I never seen it. Now I saw this one. I'm like, Jesus. I was up and done 3 minutes in, Kramer. 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And what did it for me, the snapping, okay, it's fine. The coin flipping, okay, Mr. Cool Slick guy. What did it for me was they're walking down the street and doing the little twirlies, the little
Mhm.
pirouettes, the little. I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'm done. I'm done." And Jess looked at me. She's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "I'm dead serious. I'm done." But I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna give it at least a half an hour. No, I made it. What I text you. I'm 15 minutes in and I don't like it at all.
Yeah. Oh, you're over it.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
like,
it is based in what year?
1957.
Yeah, in the 50s or something like that.
Like
So
late 57, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
So yeah, that's my take. What's good about it? Bella loves it. She likes it. My little 6-year-old, she loves it. I just paused it. I'm like, okay, I'm done. She's like, no, I want to watch it. Well, okay, here, go ahead and watch it, baby. I'm not. So yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, I can't. I'm not a big musical guy, like I said. So this one it has its right place in my list. Rightful place.
yeah. I mean, for me, like I'm not like same. I'm not a fan of musicals, but if it's a good story, I can definitely get into it. Like Hamilton for sure. Like that's that. I mean, it is a musical. It's a Broadway, so they're all
Right.
musical.
Right.
Um, but yeah, that was amazing. I liked In the Heights. I thought was pretty good. I mean, every single Disney movie. This is probably why your daughter likes it. Is a musical.
Yeah, yeah,
So
okay. So let me go back. Remember I told you I watched Beauty and the Beast, the live action one,
mhm.
and I sat down in the theater and I'm like, is this a musical? Just like no. And then they start singing like straight from the get. Okay, that musical stuff I could deal with because there's a music and then there's a storyline, then another little music, and then a storyline.
Yeah.
This is it's music incorporated with the storyline, and I don't know what is it. It I tried so hard, and I don't like it. So yeah, the Disney, the differences of Disney and a musical is different. It's different for
Yeah.
me,
Yeah. I
So
mean, yeah, you can probably make a really good argument that they're different, like legit different.
mhm,
Um, yeah, like you said, like in this one and in other musicals that were Broadway kind of musicals that turned into movies, it is like you said, they turn the music and the dancing is part of the story, rather in
mhm.
Disney, it's just like story, song, story, song, so
Right, right.
yeah, but I mean, for me, I always considered like Disney stuff like musicals, because it had a lot of it. But this is like, I guess, more of a traditional musical. Um,
Yeah.
but I know when me and Will talked about it, we both kind of didn't really care for it. I'll put a link in the description if you want to go back and watch that. But I never cared for the original. just because it was super whitewashed. Like all the Puerto Ricans in the movie were like not like real Puerto Ricans. And most of them weren't even Hispanic in the original one. So I'm like, okay, now they're doing this one, and I'm like, they have a chance to do good stuff, and like they get Rachel Zegler is the main. She's Maria, and
Mhm.
she's only half. She's half Hispanic. She's Colombian, you know, and German, I think, or something like that. So
Jesus.
and it's just I'm like, all right, here's a chance. You have an opportunity all these years later to kind of fix the wrongs that the original one did. Instead, you did the same exact thing. Like you kind of whitewashed a lot of it. I mean, there was a lot more, I guess, Hispanics in it, but their accents, man. I mean,
Yeah.
so I mean, we live in Chicago, and I mean, I know you kind of more Pilsen area, but I know there's a lot of like
Puerto
Puerto
Ricans,
Ricans just in Chicago in general. I grew up around Humboldt Park,
yeah.
so I'm around a lot of like Puerto Ricans.
Mhm.
No one talks like that.
No.
No one talks like it's so bad. I was like, no one talks like that. Like my girlfriend, Erica, she did an impression of Maria, like about the tone. It was like so spot on because it was such a, like a stereotypical accent. I was like,
Right.
oh, this is what what a white person thinks a Puerto Rican sounds like, like
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
they just repeated it. I'm like, you had an opportunity to fix stuff like that,
Yeah.
but they for me they didn't. And honestly, this movie is getting Oscar nominated because it's Steven Spielberg. That's the only reason. If it was anybody else, it wouldn't be Oscar nominated. Like, there's no doubt in my mind.
Right. 'Cause I mean,
You know?
we got Puerto Rican friends. Omar, he's Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
So I wonder what's his take on it, on their accent. Now, you could say, well, this happened in the 1957. So a
Yeah.
lot of things didn't transpire or didn't, made a change through the time. But if it didn't, then this is just wrong. Okay, so I I agree with you, Kramer, that they had a chance to do a lot. He had a chance to make it better. He had a chance to not make this movie. So I don't know why he made it. Maybe it's just his classic. He just want to throw his name out there.
Yeah.
It was between this and E.T. Come Home was again, or I don't know what is it. But I don't think I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I
Yeah.
stopped it when I walked out when I did.
Yeah. I mean, it's I don't know. I feel like it could have done. I know me and Will talked a lot about it. I'm like, they could have done something where it was more modern a little bit, but instead it was just a copy, just a straight copy in 4K. I mean, like, so
Right,
here's Natalie Wood, who played Maria in 1961, and then here's Rachel Zegler in
right,
2021. You know,
right.
I mean, the sets, everything, they just kind of, straight out of, they just copied and pasted, and then they just like, well, the main character's not fully white. We're only going to make her half white now, but she's still going to have the fake Puerto Rican accent and stuff like that. And yeah,
Right.
it was, I don't
Now,
know.
in high school, I watched Shakespeare.
Mm,
I'm sorry,
which,
not Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet. No,
Shakespeare.
oh, yeah, yeah, it's, just which one, there's a
Yeah.
shitload.
Well, I
But
figured I knew which one you're talking about just because of what the
yeah,
movie is. So,
right.
yeah.
So I watched it and I saw the black and white version of it, and that was so good. It was really good. I watched the Leo one, the
Mm,
newer one, the Romeo and Juliet, the Leo.
with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
that's a good
watched
one.
that one and I'm like, okay. So they took both scripts, plastered them, but with the Leo one, they went ahead and modernized it,
Mm.
made everything, thy sword is not no longer a sword, it's a gun, and they had all this stuff going on. And it was so I knew the story, but it was so compelling. I'm like, okay, I it got me hooked because I knew what's gonna happen. It's like watching what the Body of the Christ one
Mhm.
is like. You can't really ruin the ending because we all had a Bible. We all know what's gonna happen at the
Yeah,
end.
yeah.
So, anyways, so I'm like captivated in it. I know what's gonna happen, but how? And that's what intrigued me. Even though I've seen it, even though it's a remake, it was a crazy awesome remake. I don't know if
Mhm.
you agree or not.
Oh,
But
yeah. It was super
so
aw
if
super good.
right now, if Spielberg tried to copy that, he failed miserably. Okay, so if he would have modernized it, okay, he'd have the script the same, word for word, but modernized it. I think it would have been different. I think it would have been way different. So I think I would have probably liked it a little bit more. Maybe tone down the the spick language a bit, but at the same time, tone down also um, the musicals. But I understand he wants to keep it original. That's fine. That's fine. I'm just saying, modernize it. Don't make it like you said. Make it in 4K. Don't do
Yeah,
that
yeah,
because there's shit. You still make shit. You can't do that.
yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna argue that, like, West Side Story isn't considered one of the, like, best musicals of all time. It is, but it's also, like, it's not I don't think it deserves to be,
Right.
just for everything it does, especially the movie, the Broadway one, you can, say that, but the movie in 61. But yeah, and that was like, I think, like you said, like me and Will were talking too, was like, this was based in the 50s and the movie came out in 61. It was like, even if you updated it to the 80s, even if you updated it to all the characters were in the 80s, you still can have the gang problem, you still can have some of the segregation kind of issues, that was still big in the 80s, I mean, it's still big
Hmm.
now too, but yeah. So it's like, I feel like you could have updated it a little bit. Granted, it didn't need to be in like today's world, but even if you made it set in the 80s, I thought that would have
Hmm.
been cool. It was like, oh, everything's still fairly relevant, but we're bringing some of the old stuff to the new stuff, but I don't know, it didn't hit for me, but also the original didn't hit for me, so I wasn't, you know the music is really good, or at least them singing it is really good, but
Hmm.
you know I mean, Steven Spielberg is like, oh, we're not going to whitewash this one. And I was like, but you did, I was like, sorry, I guess I'm in my eye. So I'm like, you did whitewash it. It's just not as bad as in the 60s. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, if you're going to copy and paste it and shine it up to look nicer,
Right.
then you're not doing anything. I mean, you're just remastering the an old version of it, so.
Right.
And I
So
feel a little disappointed with Spielberg, honestly, with it.
actually, I did too. I did too because once again, I've heard of it, but I never saw it, and I heard of Jackson Sharks, but whatever. But I I did feel a little disappointed also. Um.
I mean,
So
granted,
just
Spielberg.
no, go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's Spielberg, so I'm not expecting like crazy graphics in this one, because it's not, it's not like that. But also, I don't know, I don't know. I was
Yeah.
expecting different. But go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Um. So Jessica knew about I had to do a show, so she's like, okay, I'm just trying to figure out something to help. So she said Natalie Wood played the original Maria. We
Hmm.
all knew that. So Natalie Wood died. She under mysterious circumstances. She, her husband Robert Wagner, not number two
Hmm.
from Austin Powers,
Hmm.
who played number two in Austin Powers. Oh, she wrote that down too. And Christopher Walken went boating. She was found the
Oh
next
yeah.
day dead, face down in the water. The final report said she drank too much, fell over, and drowned because she didn't know how to swim. Close
Hmm.
friends said she would have allowed herself to be in that situation because she didn't know how to swim and was afraid of the water. People have said she was having an affair with co-star Christopher Walken when Wagner found out and killed her.
Yeah, that's the
I had no idea that happened.
yeah. Well, I mean, how many who still talks about Wagner and Walken still, I mean,
Yeah,
they're just not
no.
relevant, but yeah, that was kind of the big thing back then, which I mean, it's it's like one of those things, but yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, people love Natalie Wood in the original, but it's just I don't know. I just it's a movie about Italian. Is it Italian or Irish? Italians and Puerto
Yeah,
Ricans,
yeah.
and it was like, and again, you don't get you get. I just feel like they're like, oh, it's about Puerto Ricans. They're brown enough. Throw them in there. That's what I felt like it is. It's like, and then
Yeah.
you're out, then you go out there and like, oh, see, we're not whitewashing. I was like, yeah, but I seen West Side Story a few times in high school. They made us watch it and shit like that. So the whole sharks and the jets and them snapping their fingers and like it was a running gag for our entire high school of is that a rocket in your pocket? Because that's one of the lines in there. So I mean,
Geez.
it's just I think when me and Will reviewed it, we're like, when we were growing up, we watched that version of West Side Story, and I'm like, now, like, probably your daughter, Will's son, when they get into like high school, 8th grade, and they start like watching stuff like this when they do their Shakespeare classes and they do West Side Story, they're gonna do this West Side Story now, instead of the old one,
Right.
So it's just I'm like, cool, you're just it's just a new movie you're gonna do for kids in high
Yeah.
school. So
Jesus.
I don't know. So I gave this a never back then. So now we can give your official rating for it, which I assume I already know what it is, but
Yeah, it's never. I mean, never have I ever. I'm gonna get my 30 something minutes back from watching that damn movie. So no, I'm gonna have to say no. Once again, it's not. I'm trying to respectfully remove myself from the aspect and respectfully view the movie itself. I don't like it. Okay, it's. Let's just say I enjoy musicals. I still don't like it. Um, I just don't. I just don't like it. I can't. It's embodied in me. It's stuck in me. I can't remove that. I'm sorry, mom. I'm sorry, dad. No.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's my take on it.
yeah. I mean, it's only up for best picture because of Steven Spielberg's name. The only reason I feel like, but yeah, I mean, same thing. Like, I don't mind musicals. I don't love them. I don't like go out and watch them. I'm like, oh yeah, another one. But I've seen good ones. Like
Yeah.
In the Heights wasn't too bad. What's the other one? The Showman. I don't know if you've seen that one with Hugh Jackman, where they're like the circus one.
Mm-mm.
That's really freaking good. I'll give it that. I do not like musicals. That one was pretty awesome. The music was
Okay.
good. There are Zendaya's in it, Zac Efron's in it, Hugh Jackman's in it. So it's a pretty good one. I enjoy that one, and the music is really great. And I just feel like this one's just like copy and paste,
Yeah.
and throw a 4K label on it.
Yeah. That.
So where are we gonna rank this in with everything else we watched so far? So we watched
Well,
everything except for Power of the Dog and Dune.
Dune.
Those are the last two we have left. So
Um, I have a number 10 spot waiting for them. So that's where they're gonna be. If there was the number 11 spot, they would be there. But no, 10 is the lowest I could go.
yeah,
So I'm a pin it in, not pencil
yeah,
it because you can erase it.
yeah. Um, yeah, I'm there with you too. It's just and it's not because I hate musicals. It's just they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. They didn't do anything new with it. It's like if you wanted to see West Side Story, then you can watch the 1961 version.
Yeah,
Like this one offered nothing new
right.
besides a little bit darker skin on some of the characters. That's it.
Tanny
You
Myth. I don't know.
know, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. Sorry about that. Hope you don't get upset. But
Yeah, probably, because there's some people that love musicals, and and if it is, then yeah, but
that's their cup of
I
tea.
mean, but even the original was very problematic, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe not when it first came out, but as people started watching it over and over again because you're forced to watch it in school and shit, then you're like, hey, that doesn't represent me as a Hispanic, like I hear that a lot,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else you want to talk about, but hope not
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. So like I said, me and Will, we kind of went a little bit deeper into some of the details with everything. I'll put the link up in the corner over here, and it'll be also in the description. But yeah, man, that's it. We got 2 more movies left. Oscars is the 27th, so we're gonna have all the movies done by then, hopefully.
Yeah, we
But
will.
yeah, yeah. I've finally finished everything. I watched everything so far. So yeah, so I'm ready to talk about the last 2 movies for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, so we're gonna end this one here for West Side Story, the 2021 remake. But yeah, man, let us know down in the comments what you thought of this one. Like, are we just completely wrong? And you love it for ABC or XYZ? Let us know, and we'll chit chat and stuff like that. So I'm not saying if you like it, I'm not saying you're a dummy for liking it. If you like it, more power to you. But me and Fredo,
Yeah.
we're not there. We're not there. But cool, man. Cool. let's finish this one up here. But yeah, thank you for doing this one again, Fredo.
No, no problem, man. No problem.
Yeah,
Sorry,
couple
sorry.
more.
It took, yeah, a couple more, and then
Yeah, sorry.
we're back to. Well, I don't know.
Well,
Because I'm
we'll try
back
to do them.
to work. Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's
yeah,
why it's a little busy.
yeah. We'll try to do one sometime after the week after, maybe the Oscars, just to talk about who won and lost, and then that'll kind of wrap up our Oscar review week or
Yeah.
month. So, but cool, man. All right. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know, and check out our other Oscar reviews, and check out the next ones that we're gonna come out pretty soon this week too. And thank you guys, and we'll see you later.
Have a good
Bye.
one, guys. Bye bye.